Hey everyone, welcome back to Micro Adventures. If it is your first time here, a very special welcome to you. I'm Ellie, this is Josiah, and we have a full body workout on deck. We are really gonna focus on form and tempo, right? Two of probably the most integral concepts about this workout. We will get started on one red spring. And let's go ahead and start with the left foot on the front platform, right foot on the carriage. You can adjust your straps so your feet are inside straps if you're using them. Let's get a little space between the carriage and the platform. Seal down the outer edges of the feet, okay? Strong through the core. So maybe just take a deep breath in. As you exhale, corset through the waistline. Okay, now let's slowly sit the hips back. We're gonna lower down into a squat. When you get to the bottom of the squat, I want you to pause. Whoop. I want you to pause. Okay, check in, flare the knees out just a tiny bit. Again, seal down on our edges of the feet. Drive your heels down to the surface below you. Squeeze your glutes, slowly lift it up 2. Slowly up 3. On 4, there's still a micro bend in your knees. Now take it back down into your squat. Now next time you hit the bottom of the squat, I want you to pause for 1 round of breath. That means an inhale and an exhale, or maybe 2 rounds of breath. See if you can send the carriage out 1/2 inch further. I want you to really be challenged here, right? So we're working super hard right from the jump, right? In every exercise that we do throughout class, we want to find ourselves being so challenged in the first repetition. So that means going super, super slow, checking in with the form, right? As we move through this one, important, your shoulders are going to stay above your hips. You'll notice Josiah's face and his collarbones are staying straight on towards you the whole time, right? That means his chest is staying lifted. Strong through the core, knit your ribs together. Beautiful. Let's start to add on a little bit. So we're gonna do a squat press out. So go ahead and narrow your stance at the top of the squat for me a little bit, Josiah. Now, as we sit down into the squat, I want you to go ahead and start to slide the carriage out. Push the carriage out a little bit wider than your hips. Yeah. Now slowly resist the carriage in as you come up out of the squat. So this is our squat press out, right? We've just taken our squat and we've added on. Body weight's gonna stay even between both feet. It's a double leg exercise, right? And every exhale, commit to your core, right? Really, really strong through your core. Right, full body warm up here. We don't typically start in our leg series, but today we're mixing things up just a little bit. Right, and I want you to be mindful of how much your core does work as you are doing the legs and how much you need to keep mindfully engaging it. In 4, let's hold the squat. In 3, 2, come down into your best squat, hold. Knit your ribs together, slide your shoulders away from your ears, drive into your heels, actively squeeze your glutes. Can you send the carriage out 1 inch further? Can you flare the knees out a tiny bit? Good. Now drive through your heels, squeeze your glutes, lift up 1 inch, sink down 1 inch. Final 10 seconds. Quarter turn to your left. We're gonna get into runner's lunge in 4, 3, 2, and 1. So quarter turn to the left, left foot front platform, right toes tucked onto the carriage. Now listen, if your foot doesn't fit so great on the front platform, I want you to step your foot forward to the floor in front of the front platform. You're gonna bend down through both knees. Good, chin off the chest for me, Josiah. Length through the spine, but we're hinging forward from the hips a little bit. Okay, you're gonna freeze your left leg. Right leg is gonna slowly send the carriage out behind you, finding that furthest point. Pause, slowly resist in. So we want a lot of pressure down through our left heel into that front platform, or if your foot's on the floor, down into the floor. Want to check in that your feet are about hip distance apart, as best you can get them hip distance apart. Hips, shoulders squared forward. And you do want to hinge forward from your hips just a little bit. That's going to bring more body weight down into your left leg. You're really going to fire up the base of your left glute. Now with the right leg, it is controlling the carriage, it is working. Think about the right knee dipping low, the right heel lifting high. And then try to pause on the extension. We're not locking out the right knee, but maybe pause for a round of breath there, right? So if you don't enjoy counting to yourself as you do these moves, a round of breath. We send it out, we take an inhale, an exhale, and then we keep going. Good. Now that we've got this down, we're gonna turn this into a dynamic runner's lunge. So adding on, next time the right knee is underneath the right hip, I want you to pause there. Good, keep the carriage steady. Drive through the left heel, slowly come up towards standing. Good, now bend through the knees, sit your glutes back, sink it down. Now send the carriage out, freeze the left leg, carriage goes out. Carriage comes in. Drive through the left heel, squeeze left glute, slowly lift up. So this is your dynamic runner's lunge, right? Rather than just this isometric hold at the bottom, we're layering in this little split squat. So since we're layering in the split squat, see if you can get just a little bit lower in your runner's lunge, right? Load it on down a little bit lower. Good, great job here, Josiah, perfect. All right, let's go 15 seconds like this. Think about your outer left hip wrapping back, front of right hip crease wrapping forward, and the hips are staying level. Sometimes one hip wants to hike higher than the other on this exercise, so keep everything really level. In 4, we're just going split squats. In 3, 2, hold the carriage steady. We're just gonna sink down, drive through left heel, lift up. Final 20 seconds of this move, just down and up. Stay with me, stay focused. You've got skating on deck. It's a quarter turn to the right. We're gonna sit down into a squat hold. You have 8 seconds to go in the split squat. Can you drop it down really slow one more time? In 4, quarter turn to the right. In 3, 2, quarter turn to the right. So we're gonna sit down probably about halfway, maybe 2/3 of the way into a squat. This isn't your lowest squat. Get a little space between the carriage and the platform. Core is on, your legs are already working. You're working here, so breathe, listen to me, and do exactly as I say. I want you to focus on this left foot. Seal down the outer edge of your left foot. Drive your left heel down into the front platform. Now here is the key component to skating. You're gonna push slightly off that left leg, like you're trying to launch off your left leg. So push down and away from that left foot. Hold that contraction on the outer side of your left leg. Now the right leg starts to go out. Good. Now the right leg starts to bend in, slowly and with control. So the entire time you are in skating, your outer left edge of your foot is sealed down. You're pushing your left heel down into the platform. And then not only that, you're almost trying to push down and off of the front platform with that left leg. So the entire outer line of the left leg is so strong. Good. Chin is off the chest. Breathe. You're already more than halfway done with this move. Stay focused, stay with me. On deck, we've got a spring change. We're gonna hit one more move here on our left leg and then we're gonna move into some core work. Remember, this is all about form and tempo. So slow down the right leg. Check in with your alignment. If you've got a mirror beside you, make sure your spine looks nice and long. Knees are behind the toes. Can you keep a good amount of space between the carriage and the front platform? 25 seconds. I want you to find one way to challenge yourself here. Right? One way you can make your form a little bit stronger, maybe it's just getting the chin off the chest or relaxing your shoulders and go just a little bit slower. 12 seconds. We're going one white spring. It is floor lunge. Left foot to the floor beside your front platform. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step your left foot to the floor behind you there, Josiah. Tuck your right toes onto the carriage. We're gonna go floor lunge. So right toes tuck onto the carriage and just pause for a moment. Make sure the feet are hip distance apart. So feet look like they're on railroad tracks versus a tightrope. Drive into the left heel, slowly lift up. You don't have to hold that lunge, Josiah. Good. So floor lunge. As we bend through our left knee, we're tipping forward from the hips. We're keeping length from the crown of the head through the tailbone, abs on. Pause at the bottom for a round of breath. And then look down at your left knee, drive through your left heel, squeeze your left glute to slowly lift you up. Check in with the right hip flexor. So as we do this, you're gonna get a stretch in the hip flexor. If it feels really extreme, keep a bigger bend in your back knee or hinge forward from the hips a little bit more. And if it feels like you're pulling the carriage with your right leg, I want you to shake out the right leg and keep that knee bent. Just keep the right leg nice and relaxed. It's just along for the ride. Good. On this next one, let's bring it on down. We're gonna hold our lunge in 3, 2, hold the lunge. Now I want you to tip forward from your hips even more. Go ahead, sweep your arms back behind you, palms face up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, slide them towards your back pocket, strong core. Now pump those arms. Imagine you've got weights in either hand and you're really pressing up through the palms, strong through the core. Look down, left knee over left ankle. You're here for 4, 3, 2, pause. Slowly go back to the lunge, slow as you can. That is it, slow as you can. Don't speed this up. This is all about form and tempo, right? And you can focus on these two things in any class. Are you getting bit?
No, fly on me.
Uh-oh.
Gross.
Mosquitoes are finding us everywhere, even in our little indoor studio. All right, friends, in 4, we're gonna take it down. We're gonna hold again. In 3, 2, bring it down, hold, little bit of a hip hinge forward. Now this time we're gonna go carriage kicks. Slide the right knee in underneath the right hip, slowly lengthen back out. Chin is off the chest for me, Josiah, good. You always want your neck to be in alignment with the rest of the spine. The neck is part of your spine, right? Everything stays elongated. Your left leg is frozen. Reach your left glute down and back to the floor behind you. Left knee is behind the toes, so it should be ideally right over the heel. In 4, we go back to our lunge. In 3, 2, right here. Drive your left heel, slowly lift up, slow, slow, slow. Don't lock out your knee at the top, bring it right back down. 25 seconds left on this leg. I need you to pause every time you come into that lunge. I need you to go even slower for the final 20 seconds. Catfish is on deck. So really simple transition. Hands will come to your high handlebars, both feet to the carriage. We're going catfish in 5, 4, 3, 2, hands stay our high handlebars, both feet tuck onto the carriage. Now I like to squeeze my inner thighs together, heels lifted, and that squeeze the inner thighs helps us squeeze into our abs. Bend your knees until your hips are level with the shoulders. Good, thumbs point forward, knuckles wrap to the floor, slowly send the legs out. So ideally you wanna keep this tabletop back. You're gonna bend through the knees, squeeze through the low belly, slide the knees forward. So you're just kind of sliding the legs out and forward using the lower part of the abdomen. And you want to kind of push down into your hands so you're lifting out of your wrists. Good, eye gaze is slightly forward on the floor in front of you so the neck is nice and long. Toes are gonna stay, walk your hands down to the front platform. We're gonna turn this into bear in 3, 2, toes stay. Walk your hands down to the front platform. Seamless transition. Scoop through the belly, bend the knees in towards the chest. Go right into your bear. So hips can be slightly higher than the shoulders in this one. We definitely don't want them lower. Good. This fly is just attacking Josiah. Sorry, I'm trying to help you out. Let's go. We're going 10 seconds. We're gonna go right back up to catfish, okay? In 4, 3, 2, feet stay. Walk your hands back up, thumbs forward, knuckles wrap. And on catfish, if you want the shoulders slightly behind the wrist, I'd say that's ideal, right? We're keeping this flat back position. We're really scooped through the low belly, drawing the knees forward. So we're also practicing this transition. In 5, hands back down to the platform. Let's go bear. In 4, 3, 2, walk your hands down to the platform right here. Last time in bear. You got this. Hips level with the shoulders, scoop through the low belly. Yes, you can. Stay with me, stay focused. Breathe into it. You've got 15 seconds. Knees down, forearms down. We're gonna go into saw in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees to the carriage, forearms to your front platform. Pause here for a second. Okay, so just take a moment. Your abs are working, your shoulders are working, your glutes are working. Okay, hold this kneeling forearm plank. Shoulders over the elbows. I want you to push your forearms down and slightly lift the space between the shoulder blades. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to course it through the waistline. So squeeze your abs in and around you. Find a light squeeze of your glutes, right? Shoulders, hips, knees, one long line, or hips slightly higher than that. We'll slide out away from the front platform, and then we'll slide forward. And you want to stop with the shoulders over the elbows or slightly behind the elbows. Notice where your eyes are looking, okay? You want your neck to feel like it's aligned with the rest of the spine. Good adjustment here, Josiah. And slow. Slide out till you feel that catch in your abs. Pause there. Use your lats and your abs to draw your body forward. And we want to keep this tension in our core the entire time. Good. So now we're just going to go ahead and seamlessly turn this saw into an inchworm. So we saw back one time, and then what we're going to do is we're going to layer in a crunch. So a little kneeling crunch, a little upside down crunch. And then we lower the hips, we come right back into our saw. Now on the crunch part of this move, shoulders slightly behind the elbows is going to be more challenging. Shoulders over the elbows, challenging, but we don't want the shoulders to come forward of the elbows. So stop the shoulders once they're over the elbows or still slightly behind. That's where you're going to get the most engagement in the core. And this is a super mindful exercise, right? You have to initiate the squeeze in the abs to really make it happen. Great job, friends. Let's go 10 seconds. We're gonna come to side saddle, and we're gonna do a little bit of a wheelbarrow in our side saddle. So you'll have a seat on top of your carriage, feet on the floor. Meet me in your side saddle crunch position in 3, 2, and 1. So have a seat on the carriage. Legs are off to the side to the floor. Reach your arms out in front of heart center. Squeeze your thighs together. Now just hinge back till you feel a little catch in the abs. And then take a deep breath in. As you exhale, corset through the waistline a little bit more. Really squeeze the core. Good. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Open your arms out a little bit wider so your chest can stay open. From here, we're gonna go wheelbarrow arms. You're gonna slide the arms up and then slide the arms back down. Keep the rest of the body perfectly still, and I want you to go really slow, super slow. Now, the bigger the range of motion, the more intense this is gonna be. So if you take your arms all the way overhead, it's gonna get harder. If you hinge back more, it's gonna get harder. Where you want to feel this is in your abs and your lats. So those big wing-shaped muscles on your back, imagine sliding them towards your back pockets as the hands lower. Good. And this is basically just preparing us for the wheelbarrow. So you're mindfully connecting to all the same muscles that you would use in a wheelbarrow. So we will be coming to wheelbarrow next. It will be hands to your front platform, knees to your carriage in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go wheelbarrow. Hands to the front platform, knees to the carriage. Now, if you are looking for an extra challenge in your wheelbarrow, challengers, take your hands to the floor in front of the front platform. That's gonna make this a lot harder, okay? Wherever you are, let's focus. Same muscles working, right, that we just did. Abs and lats. And just like when we set up our saw, squeeze your glutes, corset through the waistline, and stop your shoulders over your wrists or slightly behind for an extra challenge. Good, we're gonna go just 15 seconds. We're gonna hit our floor lunge for our right leg next. So right foot beside your front platform, left toes tucked to the carriage. In 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go floor lunge. Step your right foot to the floor, tuck your left toes to the carriage. Pause for a second, make sure your feet are hip distance apart. If they're not, adjust your right foot on the floor, further away from the machine or closer to the machine, so your feet are on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. Good. We'll start moving into this floor lunge. So left leg is along for the ride. Soft bend in the left knee, big hinge forward from the hips as you lower down into this lunge. Awesome work here, Josiah. Knee is staying right over the heel. Good. Check in with your form. If you've got a mirror nearby, I highly recommend working out with a mirror, whether you have one in front of you or to the side of your machine, and maybe move that mirror around sometimes during different classes so that you can get a different angle, right? Beautiful. Strong through the core here, right? So as we come down, we're finding this hinge forward from our hips. So think one long line from the crown of your head through that back heel as you lower into this. The more you hinge, the more you load the work into the back side of your left leg. Your quad is already gonna do a ton of work in this move. But when we hinge, we get a little bit more into the back side of the leg and you're getting more for your core, right? We're all about maximizing the effectiveness of every single move in this workout. On this next one, let's hold it down. We're gonna prepare for that long jump. So really big hinge forward, strong core. You're gonna sweep the arms back behind you, strong straight arms, pump the arms up. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, roll them down towards your back pocket, strong through the core. Now listen, if you start to fail here, lift a little higher, but stay in the long jump, keep pumping the arms, hold the lunge, right? You take it as low as you can. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, pause, drive into the right heel, slowly lift it up, nice. I can feel the little tremors in Josiah's muscles in his leg, which means we're exactly where we need to be. I want you to see if you can kind of detach from the sensations happening in your body and get a little bit more curious and interested in them, right? So rather than being in this move and being like, holy shit, this is so hard and my muscles are burning and shaking and I want to stop, let go of that story and get curious, right? I can feel this tremor, this shake happening in my leg. What can I do to make it tremor and shake even more, right? And how much can I actually get it to tremor and shake? Right? So 2 things we're focused on today are tempo, go a little slower, and perfect form as best we possibly can. And explore how intense you can make this exercise and how much you can make those muscles shake. On this next lunge, bring it down, hold. Let's go carriage kicks, back knee is coming in. Back leg is kicking out. Awesome, awesome job, Josiah. Freeze your right leg. Think about sitting your right glute down and back to the floor behind you. Right knee's over the ankle. Push your right heel into the floor. Maybe hinge forward from the hips a little more weight down into that right leg. You've got 10 seconds here. We're going back to our lunge in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, pause, go back to that lunge. Killer job. You've got 20 seconds left in your floor lunge. We're going one red spring. Skating is up next. It's gonna be right foot on the front platform, left foot on the carriage, feet inside the straps. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go skating. So one red spring, quickly as you can. Right foot front platform, left foot carriage, feet inside your straps. You're gonna lower it like halfway into a squat, maybe 2/3 of the way to squat, hold. Okay, your legs are on, don't worry, your legs aren't taking a break. We're still getting that muscle fatigue going. Let's set this up, okay? So it's a hip hinge, which means we're hinged at our hips. Strong core, shoulders slide towards your back pockets, chin is off the chest. Let's focus on that right leg. So what we're doing with our right leg, we're gonna seal down the outer edge of the right foot. I want you to drive your right heel down into the front platform, and I want you to go ahead and push into that right leg and slightly push off of the right leg, like you're about to launch your body off the right leg. Hold that tension, that isometric pushing down and away with the right foot. Now, left leg slowly skates out. Left leg slowly resists in. So notice that skating, right? It's not about how low you can get in the squat. In fact, a lot of times, I've seen a lot of gyms, they'll coach you to hang on to this handlebar to get lower, but what tends to happen when we hang on to that handlebar and get lower is we start to tip forward at our hips. So when you're in skating, your chest should always be higher than your hips by quite a bit, right? The way you make skating harder is by sending your glutes back a little bit more, but it's about this engagement, right? This mindful engagement of your right leg. It's this push down into the right foot, slightly pushing off that platform, really mindfully engaging the entire outer lining of your right leg. Then check back in with your core. Okay, that's what tends to happen in skating is as our muscles fatigue and those outer glutes start to get tired, our abs start to relax and we start to feel tension in our lower back, right? So we never want to feel skating in our lower back. If that's happening to you, I want you to work a little higher and I want you to focus on squeezing your abs in and around you. Relax your shoulders, unfurrow your brow. Okay, pause. Every time you send that leg out, I want a little pause, maybe one breath, and then resist back in. You've got 23 seconds left in skating. Runner's lunge is on deck. It will be a quarter turn to our right. Focus on a really smooth transition because that matters too. 13 seconds. You can do runner's lunge with the right foot on the front platform or on the floor. In 4, 3, 2, let's go runner's lunge. So right foot's on the front platform or on the floor. Left toes tucked to the carriage. This is gonna be our finisher for legs and you have one move to go after this, okay? So sink it down low. Really sit the right hip down and back. Again, feet as close to railroad tracks as you can. So hip width apart. Best you can get them that way. Now, if your right foot doesn't fit entirely on your front platform, the most important part of your right foot to hit the platform is your heel. I need your right heel to have a solid surface to push down into that platform. Good. Hands to your hips. Check in that your hips are level, right? Do you need to lower the right hip or lift the left hip a little higher? Chest is squared forward. Good. Little bit of a hinge forward from the hips for me. Yes, nice, Josiah. That's gonna load the glute and turn on the core. And then let's talk about our left leg. Can you dip your left knee down a touch lower? Can you lift your left heel a tiny bit higher? And then slow things down. Each time the left leg extends, I want you to pause, right? One round of breath, maybe two. And then slowly resist in. So it's not just the push that's the hard part, it's the resist in. You're going so slow in both directions, you really feel it. Good, and remember, focus here is on the right leg. It's this isometric hold on that front leg. So if you're feeling this more in the left leg, I want you to focus on the drive down through the right heel and the hinge forward from your hips. On this next one, left knee under the hip, hold. Let's go dynamic in the runner's lunge. Drive through right heel, slowly come towards standing. Don't lock out the right knee, sink it down. Bend through both knees, drop it down really low, really athletic, and then slowly extend the left leg out. So we're gonna, dynamic runner's lunge for me. There you go, Josiah. So it's one split squat and it's one kick of the carriage in and out. Awesome, awesome job. Good, we will finish off with all those split squats to finish this leg. Killer job, friends. Let's go 25 seconds in this variation just like this. Split squats will take us home on these legs. So you should be shaking, you should be burning, right? Get curious. How much can your muscles take? How much mentally can you push through, right? This last little bit, it's not just the physical, it's the mental challenge, right? Showing yourself that you can do this and pushing through and letting go of the stories. And anytime you think about stopping, I want you to push 2 breaths further. All split squats. Keep that carriage steady. We're just sinking down, lifting up. Left heel's lifted high, left knee's dipping down. Right knee stays right over the heel for me. Sink it down, straight down. Yes, awesome. 15 seconds, friends. We are going one right spring. We're going giant reverse dancey bear to finish out class. Hands to that platform, toes to your carriage. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna go one white spring. I got it, Josiah. Step off. Hands to the back platform, toes to your carriage. You're gonna find a really strong plank. So thumbs point forward, knuckles wrap to the floor. Squeeze your thighs together. Take your eye gaze down to the floor behind your back platform. Now swivel your hips slightly to one side and then bend your knees and squeeze them like you're driving them towards your elbow. Lengthen back out. You'll find your center plank. Slowly swivel the hips over to the other side. Bend through the knees. Squeeze through the waistline, drive those knees towards your elbow, maybe even up towards the armpit slightly more, and then lengthen back out through center. Slowly swivel the hips through center, over to the other side. I want you to go that slow, if not even slower. You can take over for me, Josiah. Final 20 seconds of your workout. Best form right here, right now. Slowest tempo possible. Beautiful. Breathe into it. Take your eye gaze down to the floor over the back platform. Try not to look towards your knees. Just squeeze through the waistline side to side. Final 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose. Sit your hips to your heels. Stretch your arms forward. You are done. You think when you're focused on form and tempo and really the basics, that maybe class won't be so intense, but I think it's honestly more intense. Let's take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Okay, wherever you are, make your way to a comfortable seat. Okay, turn to face us. Let's seal in class with 2 deep breaths. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, deep breath in all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Awesome, awesome job. Thank you so, so much for being here. Please take some time to cool down, stretch out your muscles, maybe a little figure 4, maybe some quad stretches, some stretches for those shoulders, and we will see you back next time.